Good morning, everyone. I'm David with Comfort Master Heating and Air, and today I'm going to show you the process of performing a duct blower test. So the first thing that we need to do is we have to make sure that in your work order before you leave the shop, you have this piece of paper. On this piece of paper, prior to that, dispatch will have the property address, the building owner, the permit, and then from that point, she will have the square footage on there. From the square footage, that's all the information you need. The rest is up to you. So from that, we are checking the box that says duct blower. Below that, we are checking the box that says post-construction total duct leakage is less than 12 CFM per 100 foot at 25 pascals. That's all you need to do at the beginning. Once we get our numbers, we'll plug the numbers in, work the formula, and be complete. So when you get started, the first thing that you have to do is turn off the unit, turn it off at the thermostat, and remove the filter. Then you have to determine which return is closest to the unit. Once you've determined that, you will hang this on to the grill. Ideally, if we have a filter back grill, it fits right on there. We put the yellow tape around it. That's not often the case. You get lucky if so. The main thing to be aware of when you have to hang it on a 6x30 is when you put the yellow tape has to stay in contact only with the grill because removing it could potentially remove paint. So you have to use the yellow tape and seal it to the grill without putting it on the paint. After you've got that positioned, this disc generally is going to be inside of the duct blower test, and it's going to be here. This disc is number 74. But before you assume it's there, check to make sure you have number 74. It's stamped on the red plastic. So once you know that you have number 74, you take your Velcro, put it over top of the test machine. Make sure you get a good tight seal. Pull it tight, and Velcro it down. All right, so now that you've done that, it's on to the technical side of it. So from the technical side, you are going to have these cords. I've already plugged this in because this always has a low battery. So if you have the unit on, plugged in, and in the charger port and connected to your device, it will be charging. So after you've completed that, this yellow cord goes into the control in box. Plugged into the control in box, this light should be flashing green from that point. These two hoses go in correspondence with their color. Yellow to yellow, green to green, and the same thing goes for here. You take this cord, plug it into here, yellow to yellow, green to green on the top. There's one more. The blue hose needs to be installed into a supply vent. This is the incorrect way. The tape has come loose. You will have to get back up there and re-tape it. I'm not going to do that for this demonstration. You just have to have this in a supply vent, preferably the closest one to your duct blower. But you have to make sure that that's sealed off. So the purpose of this duct blower test is we are sealing off all of our returns, all of our supplies, and we are pushing air, forcing it through the system to find out if we have any leakage. So if this tape is off, we're going to show a false reading. So you want to make sure that that's sealed. Then obviously this one goes into the blue. We don't use the red hose port. That's for a different kind of test. All right, so now that you have all of your hoses hooked up, you have it hooked up at the machine, now we're going to get to this. So when you turn this on, this will be the first screen that you see. The first thing we want to do is we want to go to the settings, and then you have the baseline. You do not worry about that. Area, that's what we're concerned with. We type on the area. Looks like the last duct test was 2,619 square foot. You type your square footage in and you have to press set. From that point, you're done with that. You need to go back. Now we need to set our pressure. And then we are always going to do 25 pascals. We're going to set. Now we need to look and see with this yellow square with the red circle says 74. It does. If you need to change it, go there, it gives you the option. We are always going to be using the 74 unless told otherwise. So now from this point, you're ready to start your test. So when you start the test, this knob needs to be turned all the way to the left. That is off. All right, and then on the screen, you're going to see in the top, what did it start? Oh, it started without me. So in this screen, you're going to see the top has a percentage, and this says off. It shows you what you've got. Now you want to start, and you will slowly rotate this knob. It doesn't really matter about the speed. You just don't want to go really fast. You're just kind of easing it along. Now I'm turning it off for the sake of sound, but once you have that knob turned all the way to the right, it's at full speed. This top left indicator will have a percentage that says speed. You wait until that speed has reached 100%, and then once that reads 100%, you will have a constant number on this second line, and that is your test result number. Then you can turn it off. Refer back to your paper. So on your paper, we are putting the square footage here and then the number that you got from the test here. Then you will repeat that number here. Get your phone or calculator or whatever. You times the number you got as a result by 100. So times 100. The result of that will be divided by the square foot. When it's divided by the square foot, you will have a number here. The number that you put here should be less than 12. If it's not less than 12, then you have leakage and you need to seal and retest. If you have a number that looks kind of inaccurate, please call me first. All of you should have my phone number that worked for Comfort Master. Call me and let's talk about it before we dive into spending a bunch of time sealing. We could have done something wrong on the test. We just want to be sure. So if you have a number here that is a value greater than 12, please give me a call. Then once you're done with that, you need to put your name, the date you conducted the test, and the date here. And from that point, if it's an install that we did, you need to take a picture of this, send it to the dispatch phone, and put this on top of the unit. If it is a vertical unit, you need to set it on top of the filter. Set it somewhere, even tape it to the door if you have to. So this has to be sent to the dispatch phone, and the results have to be left on site. Thank you. Have a good day.